What's up, Coast Rangers? Wes here. It's time. It's been 2 years that we've been trying to make a monthly newsletter for you guys, and it seems like every time that we're about to do it and sit down and get it hammered out, something awesome in the gym happens, and our attention gets pulled somewhere else, whether that be a charity event that we're doing, or any of our awesome members that are going to competitions, or anything that we're doing to try to better the gym. It seems like every time that we do that, the newsletter kind of gets put on the back burner. Well, no longer is that going to happen, you guys, because we are going to be doing a monthly podcast for you guys. So this is going to be an easy way for not only Megan, myself, and the other coaches to sit down and to talk about what's happening, what has happened, what's going to be happening in the future, but also hopefully give you guys some pretty cool content in terms of nutrition, training, sleeping, mobility, mental training, whatever it may be, just cool content for you guys to have as athletes of Coast Range CrossFit, and also in a very cool and easy way for you guys to listen and take this stuff in. So the goal with this whole podcast thing is basically that we can send it out to you guys every single month. You guys can listen to it on the way to work. You guys can listen to it on the way home. You guys can listen to it when you guys are food prepping on Sundays, whatever it may be. We just want to make it easy for you guys and also make it fun and exciting too as well. So podcast number 1, newsletter number 1 for Coast Range CrossFit. It only took you 2 years to make this thing happen, but what we're going to focus on for this first newsletter that we're giving you guys is kind of a quick cliff notes or a snapshot of how did we get to where we are today, and where are we planning on going in the future. We'll also talk about a few quick things that we got coming up, but I want to give everybody who may have not have been with us from the beginning just an idea of like how has Coast Range turned into the 6,000 square foot facility that we have now with the amazing members and awesome community that we have. It didn't just happen overnight. It took a process for sure, and it's still building to this day. So, quick idea of how Coast Range even became Coast Range CrossFit. A little over 2 years ago, Megan and myself were living in San Luis Obispo, and we decided that it was time to kind of start growing up a little bit. We wanted to start looking at having a family. We wanted to make sure that if we were going to look at having a family soon, that we set ourselves up in a situation that we would have help if we needed that. And that was going to be up here in Gilroy. Megan's family is pretty large, and they're amazing people. And we knew that if we were to have a kid or own a house or start making that jump to being actual adults, that they'd be there to help us. So Megan looked around and was able to find a job pretty easily, since every single member of her family seems to be a teacher. It wasn't that hard. So Megan found a job. I decided that I could still make the commute back and forth from Gilroy to Pismo Beach as a firefighter, and do my shifts there. It was only a couple hour drive. It would give me an excuse to come down to see my sister and niece and stuff, and life would be good. So that was part number 1 of moving up to Gilroy. We come up here on one weekend and meet with our friends Christine and Steven just to hang out and have some beers and chat. And I happened to have mentioned that, what would be awesome is if Gilroy had a CrossFit gym. Not thinking anything about it, not thinking it would ever actually become something, and definitely not thinking that anybody in Gilroy would ever do CrossFit. Steve and Christine looked at me and said, well, why don't we do it? 6 months later, Coast Range CrossFit was opened. It happened that fast. It was a whirlwind of events, and it couldn't have happened better, or it couldn't have happened in any other way. So we decided that we should probably check out and see if Gilroy would even want to be doing CrossFit, and that we would host just a couple workouts in the park and see if anybody showed up. Our first workout that we did, we had over 25 people show up to it. It seemed at the time like there was 1 million people there, which is funny, but it's basically just an average Coast Range CrossFit class that we have now. And it was awesome. And we knew right then and there with the people that were there, Christina, Whitney was there, Joseph was there. There's so many people that we still have as members today that showed up to that first ever workout are still with us today. And we knew that we had something special, that the Gilroy community was bought in, and they just needed a place for us to make it happen. So the next couple months were Stephen, myself, Megan and Christine running around Gilroy trying to find a place to make this happen. And I still remember the first place that we looked at that we thought was the one. It was going to be amazing. It was everything we've ever wanted in a gym. It was 1,000 square feet. And you can imagine what 1,000 square feet, if you don't know what that is, our gym right now is 6,000 square feet. So take a sixth of that. That's how big this place was. The ceilings were 10 feet tall, so you could jump and touch the ceilings with your hand if you wanted to. And the space, if I look at it now, would have never worked out, especially with the amount of people we had sign up in that first month. I think we had over 100 people sign up in the first month that we opened. We would have been screwed if we had decided to go with that place. So luckily for us, we were in. We wanted it, and it was going to be awesome. The owner of the building didn't know what CrossFit was, and we didn't want to have any issues going forward, so we told him, hey, you live in San Jose, you should go check out this place called NorCal CrossFit, maybe watch a class, get a feel for it, and then let us know. He called us back about 20 minutes later, said, hell no, there's no way that you guys are going to be using my facility to do that crazy stuff that those guys were doing in there. So our hearts were broken. We thought that was it. I don't know if you guys know anything about zoning laws in Gilroy, but it's pretty hard to find a spot in Gilroy to have a gym without having to go through a pretty crazy process of filing for new zoning laws and everything else, which costs a ton of money. So we were pretty down on the dumps. Luckily for us, one of our friends, Laura Bruner and Rusty Bruner, happened to work up at NorCal CrossFit. And Jason mentioned to them that he knew a guy named Joe who owned a building down in Gilroy, and it was actually a fitness club. And he said, maybe they might want to get in there, go check it out and see what happens. So they contacted Joe for us, and then Joe contacted us. And to be honest with you, going into it, I wasn't too stoked because I was thinking in my head, I was like, no, I want to be a CrossFit gym. I don't want to be a CrossFit gym that's connected to a Globo gym. I didn't want to have that stigma behind it. And I also didn't think that the space they were going to give us was going to be that great either. I assumed we'd be in like a racquetball court or something like that, which I know other people have done and opened. And so I walked into it just a little kind of like hesitant, but we needed a space, and we knew that Gilroy needed a CrossFit gym, so we went and looked at it. When Joe showed us the spot, we were sold, especially since he gave us an amazing opportunity to grow within the spot. So he didn't expect us to be able to take the whole 6,000 square feet right away. He said, hey, take what you need, and then let's talk further in the future if you guys need to expand. So blessed beyond belief, we absolutely hopped on the train with that one, and we threw up a chain link fence. So our chain link fence was 1,200 square feet in total space, and it was not in the most ideal setup. If anybody is listening to this who has been with us since the beginning or was with us at that time, they know that L shape, we had the whiteboards up on the fence, and if you were coaching on one side of the gym, you couldn't see anybody else on the other side of the gym, which is horrible in terms of making sure people are being safe, making sure people are moving well. And we knew immediately that right when we had that spot that this was not going to work, you guys. Like we need to get a little bit more space. Number one, because we had so many members, but really number two, because of the safety thing. If I was on one side of the gym trying to correct somebody and I looked over, I had no idea what anybody else was doing on the other side of the gym. So the second we had the opportunity to open up the space a little bit more, we did. We went from 1,200 square feet to 3,000 square feet. We were able to take half of the space that we had back there, which also afforded us another bathroom, which is awesome because everybody likes to take nervous pees the second before the workout starts. And having that one bathroom the first time, we'd have a line of like 15 people outside the door when I would say, all right, you guys ready? In 10 seconds, we're going to start the workout. And we'd have 15 people run to the bathroom and stand there. And we'd have to wait and stop and wait for everybody to go to the bathroom and come out. And so it was pretty on the regular that we would run over our class times during that first 6 months that we were open. So we were able to get that extra bathroom. We were able to open up the space. And when we were at that 3,000 square feet, again, it was kind of the same idea as when we looked at the 1,000 square foot spot that we thought was going to be it and was awesome and was super big. We thought the same thing with the 3,000 square foot spot. When we had half of that building, we thought in our heads, this is it. This is all we're ever going to need. It's just so much space. This is amazing. I can't believe we have this, this much space and this much equipment and this many people, and we'll never need that other side of the gym. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want. Well, obviously, that didn't last long. People kept coming and people kept signing up, and that's because our amazing members just kept telling people. One thing that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of is that we have never, ever done any type of marketing for our gym. What I mean by marketing is we have never taken our money that we make at the gym and invested it in some sort of a billboard, some sort of a Facebook ad, some sort of whatever it may be, marketing strategy to get more people in our gym. We have taken every dime that we have ever made and we have invested it directly back into our gym. The reason why we do that is because if I'm taking money that we're making from the gym and I'm investing it in a marketing strategy to get more members, that is me basically saying that I would rather have more members than make the members that I have now better. So if by taking the money that we make, the extra money that we make inside the gym, and investing it back into the gym, so buying more equipment, painting, updating lighting, making sure that the locks are secure, making sure that it's clean. We bought the Zamboni, whatever it may be. Every cent that we have ever made on the gym has gone back into making our gym better, not trying to get more members in order to make our gym bigger. What we would rather have is a smaller gym that is awesome than have a huge gym with a bunch of people that suck. So the reason why we don't have a bunch of people that suck is because you guys are our marketing strategy. We invest into you guys, into the relationships that we have made with everybody in our gym. And when I say relationships, I really should say friendships, because that's really what it's turned into. When Megan and I first moved up here, I didn't have any friends. I don't know anybody up here. And over the last 2 years, my friends are the Coast Range members. They're the people inside the gym. They're who I text, is who I hang out with on the weekends. And I wanted to invest back into those relationships. So long story short, we took all the money that we had and we invested it right back into the gym. And we thought that was going to be it. 3,000 square feet, we're good to go. We don't need any more. This is going to be awesome. But our marketing strategy, i.e. you guys, our members, we're out there like crazy telling people how awesome this place is, how good they feel, how great the coaches are, and you guys need to come. And people kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. So Joe came up to us a while later and goes, hey, man, I need to rent out the rest of this spot back here. The kickboxing stuff that we have isn't really working, and I need to make sure that this spot is rented. And he's like, so would you guys want to rent the whole thing? Well, at the time, we didn't have the extra money to make up that rent. There was no way that we could do it. Megan and I, we just couldn't make it happen. Not with the membership we had then, and not with the amount that the rent would be. So we went back to Joe and we said, hey man, look, we would love to have the whole place, but to be honest with you, we just can't do it financially. It's not going to work for us. And so Joe said, okay, you know what? I totally understand. It's all good. I'll get my guys on it and we'll find somebody else to rent the space. So a couple of weeks go by. Megan and I keep seeing these I don't know what they're called, real estate agents or something coming in to look at the other side of the gym to get an idea on how they're going to market it and how they're going to get somebody to rent it out. All that's going through my head this whole time is,